State First Response to Emergency Transport for the 2022 and 2023 State Fair seasons.
Move approval.
Second.
A motion from Alderman Weigel, a second from Alderman Lysick. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 18, a resolution approving an intergovernmental cooperation agreement between the City of West Allis and the City of Wauwatosa for joint use and cost sharing of the Wauwatosa Fire Training Grounds.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion from Alderwoman Keene and a second from Alderman Tenorio. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 19, a resolution relative to accepting the proposal of Key Code Media Incorporated for furnishing and installing wireless technology and equipment for the hearing impaired in the Common Council Chambers, Room 128, and the Art Gallery.
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion from Alderwoman Keene and a second from Alderman Tenorio. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel.
I was actually just approached in the hallway by a citizen who was at tonight's meeting and said that several people had a hard time hearing. We're not doing anything about the acoustics in the room with this. This is just electronic stuff, right?
Correct. And John's here. He probably
John's
knows
here,
more
yeah.
about it than I do, but I believe it will help people in the audience, too.
Because there'll be speakers, better speakers, and
We're not upgrading the speakers in there, but we're updating the amplifier and the digital signal processing units and replacing all the microphones.
I read that, yeah. So the audience will be able to hear, say, the public hearing speaker and the audience members speaking at the podium better.
That's the
We
plan.
hope that's
yeah.
okay.
I mean, there'll
Okay.
be assisted hearing devices where you can take an app or.
Well, see, now
headphones.
you cut off a bunch of the people because the
Right.
gentleman that was talking to me, I said, well, the meeting's going to be on YouTube. You got to understand that he doesn't use YouTube. He doesn't have an app on his phone.
You can also there'll be a lanyard
Yeah.
with a head earpiece that you can wear.
Okay.
Good.
So we'll have like 10 of those hanging there at the door, and
We can get as many as we want if we need more. They're relatively inexpensive.
okay. And is that something we reuse or
We'll have to
sanitize them
sanitize it.
in between,
Yep.
like airplane,
Yeah.
like movies on the airplane kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. But we're not doing anything to actually see. And I know so this room here we've softened up the hard surfaces in the corners and in the thing to improve the acoustics down here, but we're not actually going to touch the physical acoustics of the council chambers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But down here, we're going to add ceiling-mounted speakers.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and my observation, because there's the Kyle Rittenhouse trial going on in Kenosha County,
Oh,
you
really?
see the footage from there. There's a relation. Well, hold on, I'll draw this back. Is folks in the gallery? You see people that have that harness around their in their ears, and that's the type of thing that you're talking about.
Correct.
Is that?
Correct.
Yeah.
And that'll be for all three conference rooms.
A lot of changes.
Okay. Thank you.
That's a good idea.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, thank you. Thank you, John. Item 20 is a resolution to authorize the Director of Public Works and Information Technology to amend an existing agreement with Symbiont Incorporated for GIS support services related to the design of GIS applications in the amount not to exceed $43,000.
Move for approval. Second.
Motion from Alderman Lysick, a second from Alderman Tenorio. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 21 is a resolution to amend the fee schedule for parking permit fees.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion from Alderman Tenorio and a second from Alderman Weigel. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Sure.
why 1644, 4730? Why not the even numbers?
Yeah, I can give you an answer, and then Ms. Grill can correct me. It's an incentive to purchase online. It's a little bit cheaper if you purchase online versus in person, and that's where that came from.
So, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'll add to that. So those are the exact amounts someone will be charged with the credit card fees.
Okay. So I was like, why not? Why,
Right.
129.73? Why not 130? Okay.
Because those are, that's the exact amount.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 22, the mayor came in just in time. The 2022 City of West Allis Mayor's recommended budget. Hello, Mayor. Yeah.
Move for approval.
I have a motion from Alderman Lysick.
Second.
Second from Alderman Weigel. Any discussion?
I just want to make a comment, Mr. Chair.
Please.
None of us go into the budget stating we hope we can raise taxes. It's opposite. We all take our time, our due diligence to go through this budget because the last thing we want is taxes going up. We're taxpayers, so it's not ideal. I just want to say I hope that people take time to learn more about state expenditures, what our restraints are, because we really are handcuffed to a certain extent. By us voting yes for the budget doesn't mean that we're in support of taxes going up. It means that we need a budget to operate, and we didn't have the rooms, or we couldn't find a way not to have taxes go up and still operate efficiently to the standards that our citizens are used to. So I want to go on record by voting yes doesn't mean that we want to increase your taxes. It means that unfortunately that's how the things played out. There wasn't much to do around it, and I just wanted to state that publicly. And I hope that if any council members do vote no to the budget, that they come up with a good idea then how not to raise taxes and create a better budget. So that's all.
Thank you, Alderwoman Keene. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And item 23, an ordinance appropriating the necessary funds for the operation and administration of the City of West Allis for the calendar year 2022.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion from Alderwoman Keene, a second from Alderman Tenorio. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Is there anything else to properly come before the committee?
Move we adjourn. Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? We're adjourned.
Safety and Development Committee will come to order. All members are present. First item on the agenda is item 28. It's a resolution for a special use permit for a playground to be located at 2320-34 South 79th Street.
I move approval.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel.
I just want to say that I'm really of two minds on this. Obviously, the church has been a good partner here in the community. Obviously, losing $6,000 a year, and if I understand correctly, that's the city's portion of the tax bill for those 3 duplexes. So there's about an equivalent, less than that the school district and MMSD and the county. So there's other taxes involved there too. I was a little surprised that the neighbors don't want the playground open.
too.
I understand that the church agreed to that. If I live next to a brand new playground, I mean, I don't have kids of playground age, but I will probably have grandchildren of playground age again someday. The church acceded to the neighbor's wishes. The direct neighbor to the south is happy, and even the one down the alley that was really kind of vocal about it seems like they're going to be okay as long as there's a decent fence. So I'm going to be voting in favor of this. I understand that the other alderman of the 2nd District will likely not be. I can't speak for him. He may have changed his mind. But I think that shows exactly how close a call this is for everybody. But I'm supporting it. So I'll be voting yes on this.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 29 on your agenda is a resolution for special use permit for a community-based residential facility to be located at 8410 West Cleveland Avenue.
Move approval.
Second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Alderman
are
Keene.
they requesting any type of city help within the development of the new?
Not that I'm aware of.
No. Okay, that's it. Thanks.
And Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel.
taxable development?
It is taxable,
Yeah,
yes.
taxable.
Even better.
Yep. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 30 on the agenda is a resolution for special use permit for an automobile convenience store and gas station at 2904 South 84th Street.
Move for approval.
Second.
Steve, I just want to verify that the hours are ending at 10. It's in the resolution.
Correct, yeah.
I checked.
That was a mistake in my presentation, so, but it is 10 p.m. is the ending time.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 31 is an ordinance to amend the official zoning map by rezoning property at 1359 South 84th from RB2 Residence District to C2 Neighborhood Commercial District.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 32 is a resolution for special use permit for an automobile convenience store and gas station to be located at 8404 West Greenfield and 1359 South 84th.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 33 is an ordinance to amend the official zoning map by rezoning property at 8530 to 56 West National from M1 Manufacturing and C2 Neighborhood Commercial to C2 Neighborhood Commercial. Submitted by John Petchin, Bethesda Lutheran Communities.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for approval. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 34 is an ordinance to amend the zoning map, section 1205, for certain properties along Highway 100 corridor in alignment with the 2040 comprehensive plan.
Mr. Chair,
Alderwoman Keane.
do we need to vote on it prior to the discussion, or can we have the discussion first?
Motion. Move
Motion.
to approve.
Move to approve. Is there a second?
And I'll second, and then I want to hear what Mr. Chair has to say, who wants, and then I have a question for Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr.
You okay,
Chairman.
Mr. Chair?
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. For this rezoning of the Highway 100 corridor, there's two properties that we heard from this evening. One for the 1650 South 108th, that's the Abel Kohler property. Representative Dagan is here this evening. And then also you heard from Robert Schmidt of the who owns the Hub Chrysler site. Those two properties, I think staff is looking at those, and we'd like to maybe further evaluate our proposed or recommended rezoning and maybe take those off the list if the committee so chooses.
Is there a motion to take
Yeah.
those off the list?
Yeah, I
So
so amend,
Okay, it's been moved to amend the
The second
proposed ordinance to remove those two properties
from the list,
consideration.
and secondary, not part of the motion or the amendment is,
Let's
yeah.
get it. Is there a second for the
Yeah.
amendment?
Second.
Second, okay.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. And secondary, but not part of the amendment, is going with just what Mr. Chair said, and we'll wait to hear from the planning department to take further action that is appropriate based on the recommendation of our planning department in the future on those properties.
Thank you.
So then, on the amendment, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried? And on the ordinance as amended, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And then,
I have a question with it. Would it, Steve, would it be beneficial to potentially pull Menards and look at the light industrial flex use for the M1 that's behind it and reconsider that? Or do we think moving it all to C3 is really the way we should go there? I was kind of looking for your
Sure.
direction on that particular one.
So on that one, we think it's Menards could expand today with as zoned C3. If rezoned C3 or C4, they could expand their operations and build a state-of-the-art facility, given if they had enough land area. Our concern with that one is that they would, if they were to sell or leave that current location, that they would lop off that rear lumber area and then perhaps sell that to an adjacent use, perhaps a self-storage use or something along that line that would be kind of contrary to the direction we want to go with the Highway 100 corridor.
Kind of what I thought. Thank
Yeah,
you for
sure.
clarification.
moving on, then, item 35 on the agenda is a draft of 2021 Safety and Development Committee meeting minutes for the following dates, June 28th, and September 14th.
I move approval.
Second.
Second.
Been moving a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. There's nothing else to come before the committee.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.